Michaela, are we putting it on Renewable Heat Now Facebook?
Yes, I'm going to do that right now.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. As you come in, we're seeing like a lot more people joining the waiting room and coming on in. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for the whole gang to get here, just write in the chat your name and where you are from, and if you're affiliated with any organization, and anything else you want to say. Thanks. We'll start in a few minutes. It's great to see so many beautiful faces that I love. Oh, I believe Assemblymember Rivera has just entered too, so that's good. And we'll just wait another, say, minute, and then we'll kick it off. Wonderful. See, Peter Golan has entered the room. That's wonderful. Welcome. All right. Well, it is 6:05, so let's get started. As you enter, we're just throwing in the chat your name, where you're from, if you are affiliated with any organization, just so we could all be present in the room with each other and see who's all participating in this. We have a huge number of RSVPs. We're really excited that so many of you are interested in getting rid of fracked gas in New York State. And I'm just gonna run through the agenda with us all tonight. So we have Assemblymember John Rivera, who's gonna speak with us tonight. Senator Kavanaugh is gonna join us in just a little bit. And Assemblymember Gallagher tonight is not feeling well. So let's all send her loads of healing energy so she won't be with us tonight. But then we're gonna just hear a brief welcome from them, and just they're sponsors of some of the bills that we're gonna be discussing tonight. We're going to go through why are we focused on buildings, and why these bills that we're gonna be discussing are needed. We're going to talk about the solutions and what the solutions are, what is renewable heat, and then what is in our legislative package, and then how to take action. And then we'll get into breakout groups by region so we can all get to know our neighbors and who we're going to be working together with on legislation this coming year, and working in a very strategic manner. So I'm going to pass it over right now to Lisa Marshall from Mothers Out Front and Heat Smart Tompkins about why we are focused on buildings. Take it away, Lisa.
Thanks so much, Kim. The reason we are focused on our buildings is that 1/3 of New York's greenhouse gas emissions come from on-site combustion or burning of fossil fuels in our buildings for heating, cooking, and hot water. And when you think about gas, a lot of people think about power plants, and those are of course really important, but actually 2/3 of the gas that is imported into New York is burned on site in our buildings. So this is a really big piece of our climate picture and the energy transition that we need to accomplish here in New York. I think everybody on this call knows, but we'll just go over it. Gas has been sold to us by the gas industry as this bridge fuel to a renewable future. We know that is baloney. They say that gas is safe, affordable, and reliable, and we know that it is none of those things. From a climate standpoint, methane is 86 times more warming than carbon dioxide over a 20-year period, and it's about 25 times more warming over a 100-year period. And the next 20 years, the next 100 years are the very crucial time for us to reverse the trend of putting these greenhouse gases into our atmosphere. So we really need to get on top of methane. Most gas is mostly made of methane, and that methane leaks the whole time from the beginning when you take gas out of the earth via fracking to while you transport it, compress it, and at the end when you burn it at the flame tip, you have methane leaking the whole time, and then the carbon dioxide from burning it itself. So luckily, the good thing about focusing on buildings is that we know the solutions, and we have the solutions, and the technology exists to solve this problem of burning gas. We have efficient heat pumps for heating, cooling, and hot water that we can put in our buildings, and we have wonderful induction cook stoves that we can use for our cooking. And so we need policy that will help us to get those technologies available to all New Yorkers in every single building. So how are we going to do that? Next slide.
Lisa, I'm going to stop you there thank you for giving us the overview of buildings, but I'm going to pass it over to Assemblymember John Rivera. Assemblymember Rivera is the sponsor of 2 of the bills in our package, and I would love you to be able to greet this incredible crowd and talk a little bit about why you've introduced these bills and just say hello. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen if we want to spotlight Assemblymember Rivera. Thanks.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. So I've been in the Assembly now just shy of a year. And before coming into the Assembly, I actually worked in county government, specifically in the Department of Public Works, where I had the privilege of overseeing any sort of green infrastructure projects that we had going on for a while. So, everything from solar arrays to electric vehicle charging stations. And I was exposed pretty early on to a project that I originally pursued, which was to look at geothermal energy in some of our county facilities. So, at the time, our county executive wanted to pursue, pretty ambitious goals. And so I was sort of tasked with looking at all kinds of options. So, in learning everything that I learned there and coming into the Assembly, I really wanted to jump at the opportunity to sort of support anything I could around geothermal after I had learned as much as I did. So there are 2 bills. One is a tax credit, and one is a tax rebate. Because I'm of the belief that geothermal has to be a bigger part of the mix of what we're talking about. When we're not just looking at the goals that we have, but really for the future of the planet, frankly. So, but a big roadblock that I kept on coming across was the affordability of it. So. I'm hoping that between these 2 bills, we were able to really move the needle in removing that obstacle. It was similar to my approach around the electric vehicle charging station projects that I oversaw, in that, a lot of people felt that it just wasn't going to be affordable, couldn't be done, things are so expensive, blah, blah, blah. And then once we were able to, provide people with at least, the incentive of free charging, that meant that they were more likely to acquire electric vehicles. So similarly, I'm hoping that, once we remove some of the expenses and make it more affordable for people, then we'd be able to move the needle and people are truly pursuing this for residential and commercial property. So they're 2 of my top, more I'd say, prioritized bills for the upcoming session, and I'm hoping that we can, bring these home. So it's more or less my summary on it, and all the information around the bills, they're on the Assembly website. You can see the memos relating to them and the text behind them. So I don't want to tie up too much more of your time, but thank you again for the opportunity to come and chat with you guys. Thanks.
Beautiful. We're so glad that you joined us tonight. Thank you so much for being here. I just want to do a quick check if Senator Kavanaugh has joined us. I know he had a something that ended right at 6 o'clock. Just wanted to do a quick call. Okay, I don't see him, but if he does join, just give me a little holler and we can introduce him, because he is also a sponsor of one of the bills in our package tonight. So I'm going to jump back to sharing my screen so we can go back to our awesome presentation. Okay. Now, Lisa Marshall, take it away for what is renewable heat.
Yeah, so Assemblymember Rivera queued this up very nicely, started talking about geothermal. So there is free heat energy in the air all around us. A lot of it is absorbed into the ground, and there's heat energy in the air and in the water. And so a heat pump is a nifty device that can take that heat energy and put it through a refrigerant process and use it to heat your home, to cool your home, or to heat your hot water or to heat your hot water. So these heat pumps, because they're not creating the heat, they're just using some electricity to run, they're many times more efficient than any other kind of heating that people are currently using. And so we're very excited about heat pump technology. For people who heat with oil, propane, or electric resistance, a heat pump will cut their energy bills at least in half, if not more. We've seen really dramatic savings. I have a friend who got a geothermal system like Assemblymember Rivera was talking about. Her heating bill went from $4,000 a year to $400 a year. I mean, really dramatic. And so the problem is these technologies are a little bit expensive to put in still currently. And so we need a policy that will help make them affordable and accessible to every home. And I just have a little testimonial here from a community member where I live, and these are their adorable children, and they're so thrilled to have been able to get this heat pump, because we have been able to offer lately some grants for low to moderate income households to get heat pumps, but we need a lot more of that type of thing to happen across New York. Okay, next slide. The other thing is, we mentioned that gas has a really bad impact on the climate, but it also is problematic in terms of indoor air pollution and health. So New York actually leads the nation in deaths from indoor air pollution from burning fossil fuels in buildings, which is pretty horrifying. And worldwide, 1 in 5 people will die early because of fossil fuel air pollution. So gas stoves are one of the worst culprits. And, especially if your gas stove is not vented properly to the outside and you're cooking in a closed space over gas, that's actually pretty terrible for your health. So please don't do that if you have an option. And then gas explosions are not so rare. In fact, I think that it was today or yesterday, there was another gas explosion down in New York City. They happen quite often. They cause a lot of loss of property, injury, and even death. So there's a lot of good reasons besides climate reasons for us to switch to these efficient electric technologies. And with that, I believe we're passing it next to Jessica.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Jessica Aguilé with Alliance for a Green Economy. And we are very excited to be working on a big package of policies and funding proposals that we think will really help move buildings off of gas in New York. And so we have a combination of asks for Governor Hochul, as well as a number of bills that will be championing in the 2022 legislative session. And as you can see by this beautiful graphic by Kim, we really developed a package that we think fits together nicely and covers all the different pieces that need to happen in order to move fossil fuels out of buildings and get us onto renewable heat. So we're going to go into a lot more detail about each piece of this package. But we've got a couple of asks for the governor around setting a large goal of 2 million all-electric buildings and the funding to back it up to make sure that people can afford to make the switch, as well as a number of bills. So we can go to the next slide and we'll be going into a lot more detail. Okay, so for Governor Hochul, we have already sent a letter signed by, I believe now over 220 organizations from across New York, spanning all the different sectors of our movement, really calling on Governor Hochul to go big on building electrification in the 2022 session. She has the opportunity to set the stage and set the goals for the state in her State of the State address and in her executive budget. So what we're calling on her to do is set a target of at least 2 million new and existing energy efficient all electric homes by 2030. This number comes from the Climate Action Council's analysis of what is needed to meet the Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act goals for 2030. And we want half of these buildings at least to be affordable housing in disadvantaged communities. And to make that possible, we are also calling on her to create a green affordable housing fund, which will provide the resources, especially for those who are going to have trouble making this transition without additional resources to electrify buildings. And we want this fund to cover not just heat pumps and induction stoves, but also energy efficiency and the measures that need to happen in order to make energy efficiency, weatherization, and electrification possible, such as removing mold, asbestos, and lead from homes, which are often prerequisites before you can do an energy efficiency retrofit, and dealing with some of the electrical upgrades that are needed in order to be able to move a home to go all electric. So we hope you will be joining us and calling on the governor to set this goal and get the funding in place to make it happen. And I think I'm passing it to Lisa now.
Oh, yes. So this bill, and is Senator Gallagher on the call? Because this would be a good time for him to pop in if he has joined us.
Senator Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh, right. That's what I meant. Do you know, is Brian here? Okay, well, we'll welcome Brian Kavanaugh, as I was trying to say, whenever he shows up. But Senator Kavanaugh and Assemblywoman Gallagher have introduced this bill that we have helped to shape, and we support strongly, the All Electric Buildings Act. And what this bill basically says is that any new building built in New York State should not be connected to the fossil fuel system. And really, there's no reason why any building today built should be connected to fossil fuels. Buildings that are built now are very energy efficient and can easily run on heat pumps, affordably run on heat pumps. Heat pumps provide the air conditioning. There's just really no reason. And the bill does allow for some narrow exceptions if it's infeasible technologically. Pizza ovens sometimes come to mind, but other than that, any new building should be all electric starting in 2024. And there's also a requirement that that there are going to be put into place along with this electrification bill, a look at the way that our electric rates are calculated to make sure that that electricity is affordable for everybody who's heating, cooking, and doing all of their functions electrically. So this is the All Electric Building Act, and that is bill number 1 of our package. And I think next, for the next bill, is Jessica again.
Great, so love tag teaming with Lisa Marshall. Okay, so we are also, in addition to making sure that new construction is built to high standards of efficiency and electrification, we need to address gas utilities because, as many of you know, our gas utilities like National Grid, Con Ed, Central Hudson, Orange and Rockland, NYSEG, RG&E, continue to invest our money as utility customers in expanding the gas system and investing in continued and expanded gas infrastructure. And a lot of this is being driven by the growth of new gas customers, but it's also just to maintain the current gas system and replace old failing gas pipes And it's really billions of dollars that are going, from our utility bills into this gas system. So we really need a plan for how to address this. And so we are working on a bill. We do not have final bill language yet or a bill number yet to share, but we wanted to just use this as a placeholder to let you know that this is going to be part of the package that will stop subsidizing new gas hookups and setting strict emissions limits and gas sales limits on the gas utilities so that they need to be ramping those down every year in line with our climate law, and putting in place a real plan for the strategic retirement of gas pipelines. And our hope is that we'll be able to move entire streets and neighborhoods off of the gas system in a strategic manner and electrify people all at once and retire gas pipes so that we don't have to keep paying for them. So more to come on this bill, and we will keep you all posted once we have final language and it gets introduced.
Terrific. And I saw that we are welcomed Senator Brian Kavanaugh here. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so we can welcome Senator Kavanaugh, who is the sponsor of the All Electric Buildings Act, just to say hi and how you doing?
Great, how are you? I'm checking in from a random Amtrak station at the moment, so hope you can hear me okay. But I just wanted to, stop in briefly and say hello and thank you for your continued, push for this. The session starts in 5 weeks, and the All Electric Building Act is in the Housing Committee, and I intend to make a big push to get it moving as soon as possible when we're back. So thank you, again, thank you for all your work, and I see there's a very good attendance tonight. So hopefully we can make the case and get this done.
Incredible. Well, thanks for joining us from the Amtrak station. You look like you're Superman in a superhero booth. And so all of us are here really excited to help push that through this session. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to continue sharing our presentation, and we can get back to it. There we go. Present. Okay. Who is up for our advanced building codes, appliance, and equipment efficiency standards?
Kim, that's me. I'm Bill Noah.
Bill?
Can you hear me okay?
Sound great.
Great. So this is a bill that passed the New York Senate last year, where it was sponsored by Kevin Parker, and it stalled in the Assembly, where the sponsor is Patricia Fahey. And it does two very important things. One is to require the next state energy code to be updated to put energy efficiency and greenhouse gas reductions on a course to achieve the emissions reductions required by the Climate Act. The codes folks at this point have a basis to reduce energy use, but not to focus on greenhouse gases. And this bill would give them the legal ability to do that. It will also expand appliance standards that are not preempted by the federal government to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and deliver $15 billion in savings to New Yorkers, including an estimated $6 billion to low and moderate income households. And it does this by reducing wasted energy and money that result from the use of less efficient everyday products and appliances. This bill is a crucial part of the strategy that's being developed by the Climate Action Council to help New Yorkers cut greenhouse gas emissions 40% by 2030, as required by the CLCPA. This bill is a cornerstone of trying to enact that strategy, and it's really important that we get it passed this year.
Terrific. And the fossil-free heating tax credit and sales tax exemption?
Yes, we heard about this from Assemblymember Rivera, and we really need to focus on making the transition to efficient electric heating affordable for everybody. And I like to use the example on my house. New York did a good job relative to policy when we went to install solar panels on our house. We made use of 4 incentives: federal tax credits, state rebates, state tax credits, and a state exemption from sales taxes. And as a result of these incentives was that we saved money on our electric bills from day one once the solar panels were generating electricity. And we need to provide the same chance for folks to cut their heating bills with renewable technology. We need to provide that same chance. So at this point, there is a federal tax credit in place for heat pumps, as well as state rebates for geothermal installations. What is missing is the state tax credit and a state sales tax exemption. And these bills are sponsored in the Senate by Senator Kennedy and Senator Sanders, and in the Assembly by Assemblymember Rivera. They fill that gap, and we need to get them passed as part of the state budget process in March. These bills are 2 important building blocks for making the most efficient form of renewable heating available to all New Yorkers.
Thank you so much, Bill. Okay, so that is a run through of our house. So the roof is the state of the state, sort of strategy, getting Kathy Hochul to put this in the state of the state, and then our bill package, which is that puzzle piece that is holding up our house. And so now we are going to ensure that all of us on this call right now, on this Zoom in this meeting, sign the petition to Kathy Hochul. So a letter was sent to Kathy Hochul with over 200 organizations signing on. And this, the link should be in the chat. So if you go to the chat and click on the link, or if you don't have the chat available to you right now, it's beepny.org/petition. And the word BEEP stands for the Building Electrification Equity Platform. And the 200 plus organizations that signed on to that letter are sort of the overseers and the host of the beepny.org website. So it's sort of organizational neutral, but that is what is housing our petition. So we'll give you guys a few minutes to read through that and sign on to the petition. And I'm going to play a little bit of music in the meantime. I think I can't actually, let me put on Spotify on my phone, play music for a couple of minutes and let you guys read through that petition and sign on.
So it looks like folks can't access the petition right now. They're getting an error message when they click the link. So maybe we should go to the next thing.
Well, we have another action step. We are organizers after all.
Yeah,
And
let
we
me
will
turn
not
down
let
my
you.
volume here. I was listening to, let me turn down my volume. I was listening to a webinar.
Pardon?
How's everything going?
Oh, Michaela, could you?
Oh,
mute
I had.
Thank you. Okay, so we also have another action step, and we'll figure out the link. We're going to send you all a follow-up email, so we'll send the link to that petition when we follow up with you, so we can get a huge number of folks signing on and sharing that petition. So we send a clear message to Hochul. The second action that we're asking you to do tonight is to fill out this form to join a lobby team to make sure that these bills pass through. So we're going to divide ourselves up into New York State into regions. So because I live in Brooklyn, I'm going to be working together with everybody that's in New York City. And then we also have like a number of other regions, which if you click that link and that's in the chat now and open that form, you'll see all the regions and you can click which one you belong to. So I'll give you guys a couple more minutes to fill that out, and somebody ping me if there's any problems, because I can't see the chat while I'm sharing my screen. And I'll try to find a less dreary song to play for everyone. So if anybody was just on a pause really quickly, there is a link in the chat to fill out a form to sign to join a lobby team. And we will look forward to checking in. We're going to divide up neighborhood by neighborhood across the state. Play a little bit of music while we fill that form out.
Soul baby wall in you lipem the longest happy well best on best palal best por all be well in you in sang in yes in you sang the band no job boy ever saw ibella the bondes go I even know what oh Solo baby well in you come in long years in you come upon this balance I will walk yeah I will walk I will be in you changes even kind and young madama on this my own bias no jal chis on this my it's all wrong it's a level you tila ingena chis
Just doing a check-in on everyone, how you're doing. If we need a few more minutes or if we're getting there, because one good thing is that our next step in this awesome meeting is to meet our neighbors, and we're going to get out into breakout rooms. And the first step in those breakout rooms is we're just going to check in with each other if we need to have more time to fill out that form, just so we can keep ourselves really well organized and everything, and make sure that we can all reach out to each other according to regions. And then we'll just do a go around and just introduce ourselves to everybody in our breakout groups with your names, your pronouns, any organizational affiliation, and your location. And if you know who your assembly member and state senator are, let's name that. And anyone else that we think that may not be at this meeting, who we should invite to the lobby team, and that we could send this form to them as well to fill out. For instance, like I'm working on fighting the North Brooklyn pipeline now, so I'm going to make sure that folks that are interested in a legislative strategy in our coalition in the North Brooklyn pipeline fight, make sure that they can join and sign up so we can all work together and shut this down. Yeah. So if you want to just take a screenshot or just remember like what the what the breakout group agendas are. It's just very loose and friendly, nothing majorly formal, but just like getting to know who's in your region and who you're going to be working with in 2022. So I'm going to stop sharing, and Michaela, would you open up the breakout room so we can all make our choices on where we're going to go?
So folks should see a breakout room pop-up come up. And from there, you should be able to choose what room you want to go into. If you cannot find the breakout room pop-up, or you can't figure out how to get yourself into a breakout room, it's no problem. We can put you in a breakout room. So just put in the chat what region you want to go into, and we will put you into that room if you're having trouble putting yourself in.
Will you let us know when we see the pop-up?
You should see it now. And if you don't see it, you can go down to the bottom of your screen. You might see a breakout rooms button. But again, if you're having trouble or it doesn't pop up for you, just put in the chat what room you want to go into. And I and Michaela and other co-hosts will get you into the right room. No worries, Margaret. Do you want to put in the chat what region you're in, and we will assign you?
Hello.
Hello.
I just want. This is Philip Dooley. I'm in Connecticut, and at 5 minutes after 6, I just got invalid ID, or when I tried to click on the Zoom link in Windows. So I've been listening by phone, and hope we can do something like this in Connecticut also.
Excellent. So I'm going to put you in the breakout for folks that are not in New York State, but might want to participate in this effort. And that will be a great place for you to connect with others, if that sounds good to you.
Okay.
Well, I'm in New York
Jessica,
City. I'm just calling in, so I don't know if you can put me in a breakout. It really doesn't matter to me which breakout group I'm in.
Okay, we can put you in New York City.
Okay.
Jessica, I'm in New Jersey and I just went into a breakout room and I was the only one there. So I just kind of sat there for 5 minutes and I'm back with you guys again.
Okay, I think if you go back to your breakout room, you will be joined with others now.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else having trouble?
Hudson Valley.
Okay. And if you are having trouble chatting, feel free to unmute yourself. If you're having trouble, we can talk you through it. Joan or Al, do you need help getting into a room?
Al, we can't hear you if you're speaking. You're muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm Lynn, and I'm from Tioga County, and I'm assuming that I can't see any of the groups, so that there isn't anything closer to me than Ithaca.
Would you normally be we have Ithaca and we have Southern Tier.
Southern Tier would include like Endicott, Binghamton.
Yes, although I don't think there's anyone else in that room, so maybe I'll put you in the Ithaca Finger Lakes.
Okay, will I be able to speak with this group when you put me in?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Hi, Jessica. I've been trying to get in rooms as well right now for a while. I haven't been assigned to any in New York City.
Okay, put you in New York City.
Thank you.
Natalie, it looks like maybe you're trying to talk, but we can't hear you. But it does look like you're unmuted, so I'm not sure. Do you want to put in the chat?
Looks like Bill's the only one in Western New York.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I was just saying I had to zone out because I am dealing with a cat here who just got spayed today.
Aww.
And
Oh,
so we're
poor
we're
baby.
stuck in the bedroom and she is frantic. So I didn't even realize you were breaking into groups. I'm sorry.
No
So,
worries.
you know.
We will, it looks like you're in Yonkers. We'll put you in the New York City group. Feel free
Oh,
to.
I don't think, okay. I can't really, I can't focus, but that's okay. That's good.
You could also just hang out here with us if you want.
Okay, maybe I'll just do that this time. I'm really sorry. I
No
wanted so
worries.
badly to be a part of this and
Well, there's going to be plenty of chances. Did you fill out the form already?
I didn't even do that. No,
Okay.
but I'm part of NYCD 16 Indivisible is part of the Climate Can't Wait Coalition. And so
Okay.
we're attending these meetings weekly and I know you from, I recognize you from there. So we're going to be part of lobbying for this all electric buildings.
Excellent.
campaign.
Excellent. I'm going to put the lobby team form in the chat in case you have a moment of peace from your cat and want to fill it out. We're going to be forming regional teams that will be meeting to lobby on this package. So feel free to fill that out and you'll be contacted to join future meetings.
Okay. Very
And if you
good.
can't get to it right now, that's okay. We're going to send it out by email after the meeting as well. So
Okay.
no
Thanks,
chances will ever be missed.
I'm sure.
Oh, poor baby. I hope she feels better soon.
She adopted us. She's not a cat I want. So if anybody wants a cat, she's wonderful.
I have been adopted by many cats in my life.
And what did you do with them?
I kept them because they eventually stole my heart while I was trying to find a home for them.
Right. I'm afraid that could happen here.
Good luck.
Are we giving the rooms like 10 more minutes? Some of the or 5.
Yeah, let's check in with them in 5.
Okay.
Is there a way to chat the rooms?
Yeah, should I message them that we'll come back in 5?
Is it to chat? Do we just chat to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think just letting them know we'll come back in 5 minutes. And I will text the crew and see if 5 minutes feels good. Not sure how we managed to crash that website.
Yeah. It's too bad.
Looks like some people got in. I eventually it showed up for me. It just spun for a little while. So maybe people can do it when we send out the follow-up.
Yeah, we can come back to it.
Well, I guess we better fix that before any group sends it out over a big email list. We'll work on trying to optimize the site.
Oh. All right, should we bring them back? Yeah.
Let's text them. Can you give them like a 1 minute bring back?
Yeah, I'm hoping that my messages are communicating.
Oh, I mean, when you try to bring them back, I think you might be able to
I think,
set it.
yeah, it counts down to a minute.
Okay. Andra says yes, so let's do it.
Yeah, 60 seconds.
Howard, sorry you got cut off in the NYC group, but you were definitely onto something good.
Yeah, no, that I pretty much got it out, I guess.
Amazing, amazing. Wow, I'm so excited. So many of you guys broke out into breakout groups and you stuck around to come back with us. This is really exciting. And I look forward to working with all of you. We have 3 minutes left before we peace out. Does anyone want to popcorn anything that they heard? Maybe name a group that you said that you were going to reach out to make sure that they have the form. And if they want to join the legislative team, that would be great to, maybe you could jot it in the chat too, if you if you feel like it. I see a raised hand from Jill. Do you have a question, Jill?
Yes. Hi, Kim. I remember you had come to a New Jersey League of Conservation Voters training. I thought you were fantastic. The reason that I'm had my hand raised is I'm very curious what I can do. I live in New Jersey. I live in Sussex County, New Jersey, not far from New York State and about an hour from New York City. There's a group of us in New Jersey. We're trying desperately to fight a fracked gas pipeline compressor station that they want to build in Wantage, Sussex County, New Jersey, and also West Milford, New Jersey. And what that would mean is that the fracked gas coming from New Jersey would be sent to you guys in New York State. And it's our understanding here in New Jersey that you guys don't want this fracked gas. And the folks in New Jersey where these compressor stations are going to be built, we don't want it either. And a resolution was not passed by the Passaic County Commissioners last Tuesday at the meeting. I was at the meeting and there were several people who spoke. I was not one of them. I didn't speak at the meeting, but I was there to support those who did, adamantly opposing this fracked gas compressor station pipeline infrastructure that's going to be started, I believe, in March of 2022. So my group, we're desperately trying to fight this, and I'm just wondering what we can do and who else we can get on board to help us fight this. There have been so many people in communities surrounding the towns where these compressor stations are going to go up. And even with all the people opposed, the residents opposed in New Jersey to this, it wasn't enough for the commissioners to vote against this, to vote this down. And I was speaking to Avni in the breakout room, and I said to her, I don't understand, if Governor Murphy in New Jersey wants New Jersey to be a green state, and New York wants to not receive fracked gas, why is this being pushed through New Jersey, and what can we do to stop it?
Yeah, just real quickly, I would suggest joining the Westchester legislation group because the pipeline would be the Tennessee gas pipeline, I believe that they're trying
Yes,
to
that's correct.
expand.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that would go right into Westchester County, but also into the Con Edison network. So working together with New York City or the Westchester group would be really great. And thank you
Okay.
for that.
Yeah, thank you, Kim.
And just very quickly, that's just got a question about next steps. So maybe we can just let you all know what to expect. We have all of your email addresses from your registration for this meeting. So you will be hearing from us very shortly with the links from the meeting in case you didn't get a chance to fill out the form or if the petition wasn't working for you. And then you will be invited very shortly to join your regional lobbying team. We have been identifying team coordinators and co-coordinators, so you will be hearing directly from them with a scheduling email and all the other people in your region who will be on your team. And we will be in touch frequently with materials about the bill package, latest and greatest updates, and what we can all do together to get this bill package passed in 2022.
Beautiful. All right, everyone, go team, go. Let's do this. And it's 7:01 and we want to respect everybody's time. Go forward and have a beautiful evening. And we will follow up with you tonight or tomorrow. Bye.
Thanks everybody so much. What a great team. What a great meeting. Woohoo.
Thank you.